Hello, back again. Goodness me. Well, this is the final talk in this series. So congratulations to you all for giving up your time and staying with it, if you have done. I'm putting copies of these talks on my Facebook page, which is called Canon Fire. And now that I've learned a simple way of recording the talks, I shall put some more on Canon Fire, but that's a little bit in the future for the moment. In his final letter to the Scouts, Robert Baden-Powell said, "Try and leave this world a little better than when you found it. And when your turn comes to die, you can die happy in feeling that at any rate you have not wasted your time, but you've done your best." Some actually try and make their mark on society by building up a following on social media and becoming an Instagram or TikTok influencer. Others make their mark by building up a business, making a fortune, enjoying others who are rich in their social circles and trying to join with them in exercising power. There are those who work hard at becoming noticed by their seniors, and that way they get appointed to rather important positions, sometimes above their level of competence. Some gain power by bullying and intimidation, and Vladimir Putin's rise to power was through fear, and that remains his weapon of choice. Hugh Cudlip, the Daily Mirror editorial director, once wrote of newspaper proprietors, "Megalomania is their vocational disease." Robert Maxwell was the classic rags to riches story, a Jewish immigrant who escaped extreme poverty and Nazi persecution in Eastern Europe. He became one of the most powerful men in British publishing. He was described by his staff as a monster, a bully, a demagogue, and, worst of all, a thief. Harry Enfield, the radical, outspoken comedian, said, "I wasn't interested in fame. I've seen what it does to some people. I know very rich people who only worry about getting more money. Capitalism is an addiction. I'm not an addict." Perhaps those quotes are his best joke yet, because he became famous as a rock star, and he became very rich. One of his properties sold recently for £11 million. Those consumed with ambition should do well to read Shelley's poem, Ozymandias. Here are a few lines from it. "My name is Ozymandias, king of kings. Look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away." So what of Jesus of Nazareth? Was he ambitious? He lived in a small village in a tiny country that was governed then by the most powerful nation of the day. His father was a carpenter, not one of the elite members of society. He didn't write a book. None of his friends was particularly powerful, but a lot of his enemies were. All his friends deserted him when he was arrested. His execution by crucifixion for rebellion was used as a nuclear deterrent to others. Jesus was no seeker of fame. In fact, during his time of stillness in the desert, he rejected any idea of world domination. And his only possessions when he died were the clothes they took from him when he was killed. And they didn't even go to his next of kin. With his outspoken challenges of society, he and Harry Enfield would have got on well together. But Harry would probably roar with laughter at any idea of a similarity between him and Jesus of Nazareth. But Jesus' influence on world history has lasted for 2,000 years. And his story is told in nearly every language on earth. Some influencer, some impact. 100 years ago, the Reverend James Allen Francis published a book, The Real Jesus and Other Sermons. And in there, he wrote this of Jesus: all the armies that ever marched, all the parliaments that ever sat, all the kings that ever reigned, are absolutely picayune in their influence on mankind, compared with that of this one solitary life. My final words come from a hardened soldier, a non-believing Roman centurion who watched Jesus die. They're in Mark's Gospel, chapter 15. When the centurion, standing there in front of Jesus, saw how he had breathed his last, he said, truly, this man was the Son of God. A prayer. O God our Father, may the life of your Son Jesus so inspire us that we may have the courage to follow his example in our living and in our dying. Amen. Thank you for watching, if you have been. God bless you. TTFN. Bye for now.